good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. Locals who are in need or just looking for company this Thanksgiving were treated to a hot turkey meal earlier this afternoon at the Salvation Army's Journey to Life Center. Hundreds of meals were given out with help from the Thunder Bay Professional Firefighters Association and their families. Jessica Clement reports.
For the past 26 years, it's become tradition for the Thunder Bay Professional Firefighters Association to provide a Thanksgiving dinner to patrons at the Salvation Army. And for the first time since the pandemic, attendees were able to sit down and enjoy their meals on site.
It's very exciting to be able to have people do the sit down. I think it's more of a warm and welcoming kind of environment where people can actually sit down and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. It's great, to see the smiles and to see people sharing a meal. And, today's kind of a cold day, coming in out of the cold and having that nice warm meal.
Gary Ferguson, Executive Director for the Salvation Army's Journey to Life Center, says they want to help as many as they can during the holiday and are expecting at least 300 people to come out for the turkey dinner. He adds that there's a lot that goes into planning and serving the meal.
So we're days and days of preparation. So we've had the firefighters actually here earlier in the week cutting potatoes, getting everything ready, pounds and pounds of potatoes, pounds of mashed potatoes, stuffing, all the fixing. So, and again, the volunteers working today, we're so grateful. So again, it's something that we don't pull off in 10 minutes. It takes hours and days to prepare.
Around 20 firefighters and family members came out on Sunday to help serve the meal. Kevin Anderson with the Thunder Bay Professional Firefighters Association talked about why they keep coming back to take part in such a special day.
We work on the streets, so we see the need, we see the people that maybe are lonely or, mental health issues. So we know how important it is for people to be able to get together on a day like Thanksgiving, not only to have a nice warm meal in their belly, but also just to have friendship and get together. Anytime you can put a smile on someone's face, and again, if you're full of warm food, everybody just gets happy. And we're all our off-duty firefighters are here with their families, and it just lets them see the need that's out there, and we can give back to the community.
Both Anderson and Ferguson say they don't see an end to the partnership anytime soon. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
An accident on Highway 61 near Chippewa led to over 1,000 residents being without power earlier today. As of now, the OPP have not given details regarding the crash or any injuries, but it is believed that a vehicle drove into a utility pole around 7 p.m., knocking over power lines. The crash led to over 1,000 residents without power in the West Fort area, Highway 61, Chippewa Road, and side roads leading to the city limits. Synergy North and traffic control were on site clearing lines off the highway, and as of now, the most power has been restored, with full restoration expected to be completed around this hour. OPP also charged 4 individuals at a traffic stop on Highway 17 in Revel Township west of Ignace on Friday. The vehicle was initially pulled over for stunt driving, but after further investigation and a search of the vehicle, it was revealed that the occupants were in possession of a loaded firearm, leading to the arrest of a 19 and 22-year-old from Edmonton and a 23 and 25-year-old from Manitoba on various weapon charges. All 4 will appear in court in Kenora on Tuesday. Meanwhile, in Couchiching First Nation, Treaty 3 police arrested 1 individual in possession with drugs and drug paraphernalia. On Tuesday, October 3rd, Treaty 3 police executed a Controlled Drugs and Substances Act search warrant where a vehicle along with oxycodone and hydromorphone was seized, totaling more than $100,000. Members of the Fort Frances OPP, the Kenora Street Crime Unit, and the Organized Crime Enforcement Unit were involved, leading to the arrest of a 46-year-old male. Bayview Towers is the site of Thunder Bay's first Oasis program for seniors. 12 years ago in Kingston, the Oasis program started offering a supported living option directed by the participants. Officials say the programming doesn't come from the top down, but from the ground up, with input from the Residents Steering Committee. Carl Langdon reports.
We're celebrating the start of our program here, and it's an opportunity for folks who live in a naturally occurring retirement community, such as Bayview Towers here. So what that means is that there are many older adults here, and we're bringing them wellness programming to help them to age well right in their own homes.
As coordinator, Maury organizes the social, nutritional, and physical activity programming on site at Bayview Towers on Academy Drive, and connects program participants with community partners. But what's really special about the Oasis program is that Maury doesn't decide what content is delivered. That's born through input from the Resident Steering Committee, which itself offers an opportunity to connect with peers.
We sit in on planning meetings for all of the activities that we undertake. And we also come down and we chop when we're making appies or soup or salads or whatever. So, and that's a wonderful time to chat and to get to know each other.
Poulin, a long-term resident of Bayview Towers, is exactly the type of person that this program is intended for. And when did you move in here, Liz?
24 years ago.
Ah, so this is really, truly home.
Yeah, this is very much my home. I have this magnificent view of the lake, which I wouldn't give up for anything.
Oasis provides Poulin and her neighbors with an opportunity to access services, wellness programming, and community without a need to move from their apartments into a seniors facility. Vincent DePaul and Catherine Donnelly are both researchers from Queen's University who are investigating the benefits of the program.
We found that their use of the healthcare system was lower in terms of they used less home care, they had fewer unplanned hospitalizations, had fewer visits to the emergency department.
We heard of someone else who's having an upcoming surgery who's going to be having trouble cooking for herself, and thinking about how with the Oasis program she'll now be connected with neighbors and also to our community partner Roots to Harvest.
As Oasis works from a ground-up grassroots approach, it feels only appropriate to end with Poulin's perspective.
This is a program that is very cost effective, and if you want to help seniors stay in their homes and be healthy socially, physically, nutritionally, these are the kinds of programs we need. And the benefit of and the low cost of them, fabulous.
Carl Langdon, TBT News.
A local organization supporting Indigenous youth is expanding. Shkodeh held an open house and job fair recently at their new location on Red River Road, where they've highlighted a new program supporting high school students. Located near major bus routes in the downtown North Core, Shkodeh's secondary location is the home for their new Pathways program aimed at helping Indigenous students graduate from high school. The after-school program offers both tutoring and a mentorship, leadership, and a cultural program. Shkodeh Executive Director Marilyn Junula says culture is the foundation of the Pathways programs.
Children, they lost their culture. Parents didn't know it. They weren't passing it down. Or some did know it, but it was hidden, right? Now, with them learning it, they're taking pride in who they are and what they're doing.
They are finding a welcoming, safe space when they come here. We have computers set up. We have a nice area here where the tutors and the students can sit down. And then we also have a more relaxing area if they want to do their homework with couches and beanbag chairs, and they're surrounded by the art that they created.
The expansion also means the organization is hiring. Job postings and registration forms for all of Shkodeh's programs can be found on their website, shkodeh.com. An Indigenous singer-songwriter from Sandy Lake First Nation is preparing to embark on a cross-Canada tour. Aisanabi's music is inspired by family, particularly his late grandfather, who was a residential school survivor. Donna Sound reports.
I've been home down these empty halls.
A powerful voice that hits all the right notes.
So let me hold you like you're the old you.
Aisanabi is a journalist turned musician. He's also self-taught.
There was a guitar, I just started writing songs and I started singing, and I remember being so nervous that I wouldn't even sing in front of everybody.
He's Oji Cree from the Sandy Lake First Nation, a remote fly-in community in northwestern Ontario. Another hit single, Nomads, reached #1 on alternative radio.
This is my debut record, and for it to kind of get all the accolades and stuff is wild.
His new EP, Here and Now, delves into Indigenous love and loss, exploring the impact of colonization on Indigenous love in this country, saying this country never made him feel worthy of love, and in turn, never made him feel worthy of the love of another.
Growing up around that normalization of just treating Indigenous people less than, it does something to you.
Songs guided by his grandfather, who influences much of his music. A residential school survivor, Aisanabi listened to and recorded his stories.
sharing that burden and sharing these stories kind of made us closer than we've ever been. And it's just amazing to me because he's always been like the strength in the family and the rock in the family.
His debut album, Watan, was nominated for a Juno. Asanabi honored his grandfather at his Juno Awards performance. Nominated in the category Contemporary Indigenous Group or Artist of the Year. Asanabi will be hitting the road on a cross-Canada tour with a stop in Nashville. Donna Sound, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, after